he like took care of me, because he's a, honest person, he like works hard, because of the essence of that person, Not because he's about to give me $5 right now, give me allowance, or $5 is nothing anymore, sorry, but $50, for example. So we say alhamdulillah just because of how great Allah is. Allah, that you're so merciful, you're al-Rahim, you're al-Qawi, you're Aziz, you're al-Khaliq. That's it, alhamdulillah. So sometimes so it's kind of selfish that we say alhamdulillah because of an action. You think about it, right? So imagine if Allah didn't do anything good to you, why you're not going to say alhamdulillah anymore? Right? So kind of be careful for that. I know what you're saying, I do it too, everyone does that. Right? So some scholars say just say alhamdulillah because of the characteristics and the essence of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. That's like the pinnacle of the reason why we say alhamdulillah. Now hold on, is shukr means like what? Thankfulness, right? Shukrullah, or we like to say, thanks to Allah. Alhamdulillah, is that the same thing or is it different? Different. I'm hearing whispers about.
I just watched a lecture the other day. It was like a full hour by Imam Khan just on Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
And he was saying that part of it is that Alhamdulillah is praise and thanks at the same time, because you can thank someone without praising them, or you praise something without thanking them.
So right, yeah. Good.
Incorporate both at the same time.
Jay, yes. Good. Anyone else? Shukr is action. Jameel, I like that. Very good.
Something needs to happen.
Shukr is like personal, like if you do something to me, I say thank you, And like alhamdulillah, like you explained, is that quality or essence, like something you have.
Jameel, very good.
It's a reaction. Like you need something to happen in order for there to be shukr, but you don't. No one needs to praise Allah. He already has that.
Right. We need another action. Kind of what we just talked about. Thanks for Allah. Alhamdulillah for our prayer to Allah. Thank you. Right. So here is that. It's weird because you guys all translate that as thank you when you guys say that. Thank Allah for letting me pray. And you notice that you can say praise be Allah. You say thank you. So you guys kind of answer your own question. So we say thankfulness is for something but specific, right? That's why we say shukr Allah. Thank you for like giving this food for me, right? So alhamdulillah, like you're saying, is more general. And also, and this was very beautiful that she said, that shukr is usually done with the heart and the tongue and the limbs. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the family of Dawood. Like, ihmal, he said, work for the thankfulness. Ali Dawood, right, the house of Dawood. Meaning that what? That you should do action to be thankful. As we mentioned this also, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says like, كُلُوا مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا وَاشْكُرِ اللَّهِ, or I forgot the ayah exactly, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that eat halal and thank Allah. Right? How do you thank Allah? By doing righteous deeds. Right? And for that food that He gave you, right? Obviously put that energy into practice, right? So something that's specific, and alhamdulillah is kind of something that's kind of general, if you will. And shukr usually is connected with an action, right? That you actually do something. You donate something. Allah, thank you for giving this. I'm going to donate this money. I'm going to pray or something for. That's where we have the sujood we do when something good happens to you. What do you call that sujood?
Shukr.
Right? Sujood is shukr, right? So, thank you, Allah. Thank you very much for saving me from an accident. And you make sujood, right? Right? It's connected to an action, right? Very good. MashaAllah. You guys are ulama. Ulama. Another thing is that, another beautiful hadith I would like you guys to memorize, also talking about dhikr, and saying alhamdulillah, subhanallah, is this, well, the Prophet said, this is the last hadith in Bukhari. What was the first hadith in Bukhari? The niyah, bin niyat, right? All deeds are done by intentions. Actions are done by your intentions, right? So the last hadith in Bukhari, you go to the very last page, you have this hadith here, where the Prophet says something very beautiful. It says, كلمتان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن خفيفتان للسان ثقيلتان في الميزان سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. So the Prophet said that there's two words that are beloved to the beneficent, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very light on the tongue, but very heavy on the balance, on the scales of Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? And that's subhanallah wa bihamdihi subhanallah al-azim. Very simple thing to say, right? And so this, another hadith where the Prophet said that keep your tongue moist with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So these are two things that you could say, these two statements, subhanallah wa bihamdihi. So you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is connecting, subhanallah and alhamdulillah together. Just like what this hadith says, right? And subhanallah, once again, subhanallah the azim. Azim, of course, we know it's one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mighty, if you will, right? So these two things you can say all the time. One of the best things you could say, once again, in traffic, at your house, whenever you can. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim. Remember we had a program in Ramadan where the speaker was saying that everyone repeat this and give us like 5 minutes and say it 100 times. You know, it's kind of training the people to get these words down. A lot of people didn't know this hadith, if you will. Right? And the hadith kind of rhymes. So if you kind of memorize it, you know, كلمتان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن, right? خفيفتان إلى اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان, right? It's kind of beautiful, right? You know, like most rhymes, if you will. Right? Jameel. Next thing, the Prophet said that salah is nur. The prayer is nur. How can the prayer be nur? After you pray, you have like a flashlight that comes on your forehead. What does that mean, that the prayer is nur?
It removes darkness, essentially.
Move darkness from where?
Your spiritual.
The heart, for example, your spiritual being, right? What else were you saying?
The move from all the, darkness.
Okay.
And on the day of judgment, when, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, there would be people whose moon would be on the right and on the front.
Jameel. Ahsanti. So one thing the Prophet said that, it's thing called a sirat. You guys know sirat very well. Sirat al-mustaqim. But this sirat is a bridge, we all know. The Prophet defined it as what? As thin as a hair, or as sharp as a blade, or as thin as a blade, or as thin as a hair. And all of us have to walk this, go across it. To get to where? Al-Jannah. And some people go as fast as lightning, basically, boom, right? Lightning, you see in the sky go boom, really quick. You can't really take a picture of it. By the time you get your phone out, it's already gone, right? And some people go very, very slow. And some people will fall off of it, and we know where they're going to fall, right? They're going to fall in a pool of water, and fall in Jahannam, right? And it said that some people have a light that'll help them, guide them on this path, because it's going to be dark. And if you can't see where you're going, and it's as thin as a hair, a tightrope, if you will, you'll fall very easily. So it said when this nur is connected to your salah, that the ones who does more salah and they're very strict on it, have a humongous floodlight. It'll be very easy for them to see where they need to walk. Right? Inshallah, get you there faster. And those who don't, right? Another thing the Prophet also talked about, not talking about salah though, we talked about wudu. That they said that the ones who do wudu properly and pray, that they'll have a light coming from their forehead. Ghabra, they call it. And they'll be known from the place of their sujood, and also the place of where they wash their forehead, and that will emit light. That's why this is something we make wudu, you wash your head, wash your forehead a little bit more. It's very interesting that, I don't know it is in Pakistan and India and other places, but in Egypt, like a lot of people, whether, a lot of Egyptians have a mark on the forehead because of their salah. Some people have a growth. I know there's one uncle who's very humble, very, very pious, and subhanAllah. He had it's like almost a growth he has on his thing. It's like you could actually probably pick it up with your hand if you want to, right? And because of his prayer, subhanAllah. And I used to say I used to kind of, not really make a joke, but it's kind of sick because the carpets in Egypt are very kind of dirty because there's a lot of sand in Egypt for the pyramids and this. So there's like sand everywhere in Egypt, in your house, and it blows through the window. There's no screens on the window in Egypt. I don't know why they don't invent screens one of these days, but anyhow. So it's just like, I got it when I was there. And I don't think I'm anyone special. So just because of something on the carpet. But I think this naturally, you can see people, subhanAllah, they have a lot of them have this dark mark on their forehead here. Maybe some of you guys have caught that before. Some people get it on their foot from the sitting down. Some people get it on their knee and so forth. This could be a sign of Yawm al-Qiyamah. The light will come from these areas of sujood and from wudu, right? So just think about that, subhanAllah. Right. So anyhow, so the light could be on.
It's only the salah is our good deed also.
Only the salah is a good deed?
Or is the light for the salat or for our good deed also?
Oh, okay, that's what you're asking. When I read the commentary, it was talking about your salah would be the one on light, but it could be other things, Allahu Alam. I need to look up that. Yeah, I don't think that's directly to your salah, but I think the commentators on this hadith were trying to say that this will help that on that. I'm not too sure exactly where they got that from, but that's a good question. Maybe I should look that up, inshallah. And then the Prophet said that charity is a proof. How can charity be a proof? What do you mean charity is a proof? Salah is a nur, right? But charity is a proof. What does it mean by that?
Charity is maybe proof of your iman and your intentions.
How?
Your, like, that you can pray and do all this stuff, but there are some people who aren't willing to give up, especially like money. That's something you
Right.
kind of hold close to. Something they're not willing to separate from that for someone else's sake. So
Awesome.
charity kind of proves your intentions and your sincerity.
Exactly. Right. Anyone heard that? Right? Anyone else want to add to that? Right. We know some. Right.
I was going to say it's going to purify your heart.
Purify your heart, right? But here the Prophet calls it a proof, though, right? So nur, yeah, maybe nur might be proof, right? But talking about what is a proof? A proof is like, like, here's my driver's license, that's a proof. Like, I can drive, if you will. Here's my passport. I'm this type of citizen. Proof, meaning, this is kind of Brother Dalian was saying, is that I can ask for you guys, ask people, I'll say you guys, but other people, would you like to pray 4 rakats prayer, sunnah prayer, or would you like to donate, $100 to the masjid? What do you think most people are going to do? It's free. I have to go make wudu, I have to wet myself and stuff, but I do that. But to take my hand and put it in my pocket and take that $100 when I worked hard for it, and I could go take that and go have a nice dinner, I could go buy this for myself, I could get some clothes. I don't want you in my pocket. Keep your hand in my pocket. I'll pray to pray, but don't tell me what I need to do with my money in my pocket. People don't like that. Well, those people that could take their hand and go in their pocket and give it to someone who didn't work for that, you put that 40 hours in, you got beat down at work and you were standing in the sun, and give that to someone else. Oh, that's a proof. And guess what? This guy has a different type of faith, right? Not everyone can do that, right? Go ahead, can you ask something?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, and then this is the showing the gratitude also. We are doing thank. Like the hadith start, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Shukr, Alhamdulillah.
Right.
If we think that $100 which Allah gave us, which is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Very
and
good.
then we are giving it back in the,
Right.
we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a shukr also,
Exactly.
We are doing that,
Right.
of Allah's name.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Very good. Because like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أنفقوا مما رزقناكم. Right? أنفقوا, give out from what we have given you. Right? It's like if I give you guys this book and say, you know what, give it back to you. I'm willing to give you the book in the first place. Right? Understand that, right? So here, like a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you will not reach bir, piety, righteousness, until you give out what you love. Right? And that's hard. Everyone loves their stuff. Right? Like, that's my watch, Someone says, oh, that's a nice watch. And you're like, oh man. Oh, here, you can have it. And that's hard to do. It's my cool little watch. It has a digital watch and stuff like that. So not everyone could do that,
There's like a hadith I heard where the Prophet had this really nice stove, and then someone came and asked him for it and gave it to him. And then another companion went to him and like, how could you like that was one of those favorite goes you just or something like that.
That's hard. Forget about money, but own your own personal stuff, right? It's like someone that's just, that's your clothes, or someone comes to your house like, oh, where did you get that vase from? Oh, where did you get that from? Maybe they're not they want, they're just asking. And you're like, no, just take it, go ahead. Like, serious? Like, no, I don't want to take it. No, I take it. That's hard to do, right? Even if you're joking, to do that, right? And that's you get to a certain level. And all of us are tested with that. Might be tested with that right after this class, tomorrow, or whatever. So think about when you're stuck in those situations, when you hear that some person needs help financially, what do? Do you just pass on that email, or what do you do, right? Everyone, it's tough, right? So anyhow, that's why charity is a proof, right? Meaning that it's a proof of the donor's iman, right? Money is beloved to ourselves, and a person does not give out from what he beloved, except seeking what's more beloved. I love that statement. A person doesn't give out what's beloved to them unless he's seeking what's more beloved, and that is reward, right? And knowing that Allah will give that back to you. But not everyone believes that, right? You have to understand that's more beloved to you. And not everyone will buy that reasoning, right? That takes practice, right? That's why you take classes like this, inshallah ta'ala. hopefully that to benefit from. So next thing that we have is that the Prophet says that patience, sabr, is illumination. What do you mean that is illumination? What is illumination and what's light? The Prophet said that salah is nur. And they said patience is a thing called diya, which is illumination. Is there a difference between light and illumination?
Kind of like being polished.
What, sorry?
Polish, kind of like get it
Polishing.
shine.
Okay. Good.
It's like source light and
Beautiful.
the reflector light.
It's like,
Jameel. Fadl.
yeah, but the light itself, when you have the illumination, which is, I don't know.
We kind of get what you're saying. I kind
Siraj
of,
al-Munir.
right. So Surah al-Munir, right? So what, is the moon illumination or is it light?
So like
Is the sun illumination or is it light?
illumination.
Sun is
That's
light. Sun is light. Moon is
It's
illumination.
reflector.
Alright. So we all know that the moon only gets light because of what?
Sun.
It's just a whitened surface. It has no switch you can turn on light and turn it off. It doesn't produce its own light. Right? We say that there's light in this wall, but that's only because of that bulb or because of the sun outside the window. There's a lot of light in that corner. Is it because that corner is bright? No, because the door is open and the sunlight's coming in, right? So that's why it's called diya, something called nur. So what's the difference between the two? What's the difference between the moon and the sun?
So it's more reflection.
So both of them have light.
Yeah.
What else? But what's the difference?
Sun doesn't need the light. Some object to be lightened.
Okay, good.
And the moon needs sun to be lightened. Like,
Good. Right. Very good. What else? If I stand in front of the moon and I stand in front of the sun, what's going to happen to me? Other than I see light. Do I have to put on, do I have to wear
Don't feel the heat.
there you go. Right? So sun gives out what? Harara, gives out heat. Right? And what? And the moon doesn't. So the Prophet said that here what? That patience is illumination. Meaning that what? It's a source of light. Right? And what? It also has this aspect of heat to it. What do you mean aspect of heat? We all know that what happens when you're angry, what they tell you to do. Rather have what? Patience. And what happens is that you have a lot of, you're energetic, you have a lot of heat in you, right? And so this type of illumination with a different type of heat kind of cancels that out, if you will, right? Kind of complements it, if you will. It's not like water and fire, but it's a different thing that scholars have said, right? So patience kind of gives that illumination and it kind of brings you down, if you will, right? Comes with heat, right? And this heat here, the heat from the sun is what is difficult. It makes you sweat, it makes you hot. But the heat from patience is more, it's like a cooling thing. It's an interesting thing, if you will, right? Different. So the scholars have said, going back to this, that patience is of the three things. Number one, in not disobeying Allah. What do you mean by that? How can you have patience by not disobeying Allah?
It can be very easy to commit sins sometimes. It can be hard to refrain from it.
So you have to have patience for what?
You have to have patience to not do it.
You said that, the R word, refrain.
It's hard
Right.
Not to do.
because a lot of times doing this is way easier than
Right. For example, a woman walks in there dressed not the best, very attractive, but you have to have patience not to turn your head over there, right? And then you have to kind of, like when the Prophet ﷺ was going to Hajj and going around the Kaaba, the Sahabi started looking at this girl, and the Prophet took his face and he moved it over here, right? So then you have to have patience, keep your head straight, don't worry.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I can physically put his hand on his face and move it back this way, right?
There's a hadith talking about the people who will be like under the shade of Allah,
Mhm.
the day of judgment. One of them, the man who, like when a woman came to seduce him, he
Yes,
did
exactly.
a lot more.
Right, like have enough patience to not get tempted, if you will. Perfect, exactly. So there's patience in that. Patience not to look at certain movies, watch like certain music, even though the body likes music, right? You hear a good tone, right? Someone really sings really well, whatever language, whatever music you listen to, your feet start, stepping, right? And so you have to have patience. Hold on, calm down, right? Well, there's times for that, weddings and stuff like this, where you can release those if you will, right? So anyhow, So this type of stuff, patience, drinking, alcohol, whatever it might be, some people might, for some people that might be a temptation, right? Drugs, right? Women, men, for certain people, right? Etc. So you need patience for not disobeying, to stop from disobeying Allah. Number two, or letter B, is from patience upon obeying Allah. What does that mean? What's the example of that?
Shit.
Okay.
Just like keeping.
So what does that mean? Because
You know, you don't feel like getting up for the fajr, but patience will make you to get up and do fajr.
okay, good. So some people say could put that in letter A, right? From disobeying Allah. I don't want to.
Yes, no.
Yeah, it's kind of falls both of them.
There are times when like not disobeying law isn't necessarily doing something that was like made obligatory on you, or
Right.
Fasting.
so it could be
Fasting.
different.
Right. Fasting, right? So patience while obeying Allah, you know you want to eat. Right. Hajj. In prayer, you want to finish, you want to jump back into watching your movie or video game, but patience to what? To stay there and say, you know what, just calm down. Just recite slowly. I have sabr in your salah, right? That is a killer for people.
Is the first option correct? Am I reading it correct? Patience upon not obeying Allah or
Not disobeying.
Not disobeying.
So there's a not and a dis, so they cancel each other out.
So it's like obeying, right? It becomes like it's option B, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Patient upon not disobeying. So I'm patient that I don't want to disobey Allah. So that girl's there in the corner. I might want to look at her, but I want patience not to disobey Allah. Allah told me not to lower my gaze. So I have to have sabr not to disobey Allah, right? Or patience in disobeying Allah. That's like, you can put it that way, I guess.
The
Too.
second one has more to do with things that are like made obligatory. I was thinking we have to do like the prayers.
Talking about category number 2?
Yeah, number two.
Yeah, sorry.
It's more,
Oh, that's right.
more has to do with things that are like obligatory for us, whereas
Yes.
the other doesn't necessarily want that link to
Right,
prayers.
right. Sometimes classes, right? You have patience, like, oh my gosh, I want to go back home and so forth. I want to do something else. But once you get the class, alhamdulillah, you might learn whatever it might be, or the khutbah, whatever, right? Some people want to fall asleep in the khutbah. Have patience, listen to the whole thing, you fall asleep afterwards. And we'll do asleep all you want in your car, etc., right? Or they want lunch, right? Everyone wants to think about lunch during khutbah time.
Also halal and haram, that sometimes, for example, like I want to buy a home, and there are halal ways and there are haram ways, and I keep myself restraining from going into the
Right. Exactly, right? And that's not to like, hasten. So when it comes, it will come, inshallah ta'ala, right? Or if I get enough money, or if I get enough means, then you will do that, right? So that takes a lot of patience too. Not everyone has that, right? Very good. And now letter C, patience upon what Allah subhanahu has decreed for us. We talked about this multiple times, right? So if someone gets sickness, car accident, that you don't go, you have patience instead of blurting out certain things. Oh Allah, why do you do this for me? This is not fair, this is unjust, right? But you're like, you know what, I'm going to go through it, there's some wisdom behind it, I'm just going to play it out, and inshallah, stick with my faith, and inshallah, I will help you at the end, right? So the scholars said that patience is of the 3 types. There's a book by Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah called Patience and Gratitude, where he says that Iman is, I think I mentioned this before, Iman is in 2 parts. Your Iman is, part of it is sabr, and part of it is shukr. That's pretty much it. Small book, maybe, 40 pages, 50 pages. And translated in English, you could buy, called Patience and Gratitude. And basically, he has pretty much said your whole life is, majority is patience. Only like the last 10 pages of the book is actually on shukr, thankfulness. But he shows how you can have patience in everything. From, dealing with this person, patience in your prayer, patience with this, if you will. So a nice little quick read you could get, and inshallah be enlightening for you.
That's by whom you said?
Ibn Qayyim, Qayyim. And you can find it.
Find it out.
Amazon, yeah. Always Amazon. Default place to go. There's some Muslim bookstores out there, obviously. You support them also. And then he said, what? The Quran is proof either for you or against you. What does that mean? How can the Quran be against you?
Obeying it or you. Sorry.
You like neglected it, or perhaps you only like read or recite Quran because other people, so that other people will like praise you for.
Right. So showing off. You know the obligations that mention in the Quran, but you don't do any of them. You don't treat your parents good. You know it says that bir walidain, right? Ihsan al-walidain, right? You know zakat, but you don't do that, right? Prayer, you know, but you don't do this, etc. Right? All these different things, you don't follow through it. So then on Yawm al-Qiyamah, you won't have an excuse. You can't say I didn't know, right? That's very, very scary. And I mentioned this class, right? To make this class a proof for us and not a proof against us, right? And that's everything is like that. Not just class, but everything you do. Jummah khutbah, you hear something, and now you have to, you're now obliged to act upon that, whatever your capability is to extend, right? And then the Prophet says every person starts off his day. As we start off our day, right? Either the vendor of his soul, or freer, or causing its ruin. What does that mean? Every person starts off his day, that's easy, we all understand that part, as a vendor, as a seller, right, of his soul, right? Why did the Prophet talk about soul? Right? Why didn't he say your body? We all believe in a soul called ruh, right? We're spiritual people, right? We're Muslim, we understand. We don't know it's not just our physical body we have, but within this body, there's a soul, right? However you want to picture it, but there's a soul inside of us. Now that soul, every day when you wake up, is telling your body, take good care of me. Pray, don't say this, feed yourself good, remember Allah. That is a spiritual food, right? Unfortunately, that soul can come out of your body and smack you and say, hey, stop doing this thing, right? You're ruining my life, right? I'm going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your body's going to go into that dirt, but I'm going to have to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So take care of me well, right? Like tazkiyat nafs, right? Purification of the soul, right? All this stuff, like don't have this anger, don't have this hate that you have inside, this envy, right? So your soul can't talk to you, unfortunately. You get feelings in your mind and yourself. Man, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done this, etc. Right? So here, that the Prophet said that everyone starts with the vendor of his soul, because the soul can't talk. So either that soul inside of you, you're either going to treat it right, or what? You're going to ruin it. How are you going to treat it right?
You're going to sell it to good or sell it to
Exactly, right? Because your soul doesn't. He's just like an item on a table. You can't move this way, I can't move that way. But you're the one that's going to take it to prayer. You're the one that's going to speak good to your spouse. You're the one who's going to treat your kids correctly. Or you're going to ruin it by other multiple means. And that soul is going to have to harm that, right? And that's going to affect it, right? So think about that every time you wake up in the morning, that you have this responsibility. That's if you have a little friend inside of you, if you want to think about it that way, how are you going to take care of this soul, right? And what are you feeding it? And what are you looking at it? And that's all. What are you looking at? And how you're saying? All that affects that soul in front of you. So Prophet basically checks you after saying that. Why did the Prophet say that every day a person sells his soul, either freeing it or causing it? How can you free it? What do you mean? Why is it chained up in the first place?
It's like liberating.
Liberating for it to do good, right? Good. How can you liberate it? What was everything all mentioned in the hadith beforehand? Everything's connected. Your prayer is nur, sadaqah is burhan, right? Subhanallah, alhamdulillah fills the scales. So that's how the Prophet said, that's how you free it. So hadith is all connected, obviously. It's not like random words, right? So the Prophet said that you're either going to free it or cause a ruin. So if you ruin it by what? Not praying, no zakat, right? You don't mention Allah at all. You neglect your Lord. And guess what? I'll ruin it. So this is how the one way that you could free it, by doing what all mentioned in this hadith here, 3 or 4 or 5 things that I mentioned there. Any questions or comments on this hadith before we go to the next one?
So in Quran, when Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says every soul is, whatever you said, that every soul is going to be, you need to free your soul.
Right,
so
right.
These are the deeds would able to, or would able us to free.
Exactly. Easiest one, dhikr. Everyone can say subhanallah, alhamdulillah. No charge in that. You don't have to make wudu. You don't have to, wear special clothes. You can lie on your bed. You could be standing in front of your stove. All these different type of things, right?
Is that connected to nafsul lawama and nafsul mutmainna?
Well, that is the soul. That's the soul inside of you that can't speak but makes you feel bad. And sometimes that soul is corrupted, so it commands you to do wrong. Like, should I eat more? It's so good. You keep on eating that ice cream. Or keep looking at a girl over there, oh my gosh, look at it. Well, Shah, just keep on sleeping, don't wake up for Fajr, like it's alright, get your rest, you'll pray after.
In terms of what Surah talks about, is that connected to that hadith?
These surahs there were 3 different places in the Quran that talk about this. Lafz al-awama, lafz al-mutma'inna, lafz al-amar bisu, right? The 3 parts. You have the soul that's reapproaching, that blames you when you do something wrong. You have that soul that commands you to do wrong, right? It wants its desires, And then you have the soul that's tranquil, it's at peace, you have everything, right? Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, Ya nafsa mutma'inna, ukhrij jannah, right? Into Jannah, right? So you have that tranquil soul. These are the 3 ones you have. And so you have to learn how to tame all of them, or at least to deal with all of them, if you will. So the same thing here, that soul, freeing it, like I said, it connects to this hadith by saying that the soul can't talk, but it makes you feel these different things. That's how the soul talks, right? Where it says, go back to sleep, right? Or it says, like, no, Shah, you should wake up and pray. Come on, man. Right? So it's sometimes commands you to do good, sometimes it tells you to do that.
Like that feeling we usually say.
Exactly. That feeling you have inside, right? Where you say, like, I feel bad. In the cartoons, you have a little shaitan guy, a little angel, right? We don't really have that. But what that is that's that good soul and that's that bad soul. It's one soul inside of you, but it's the way that we train it, if you will. Exactly. And you can tame that soul, right? And also you have jinns that are around you. The Prophet said everyone has a jinn. And so but he thought, I've tamed my jinn, I made it Muslim. So it doesn't affect me. Right? And so that's like, we can do that, but you have this jinn that's kind of also telling you that, hey, do this, do that, do that. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, you also have angels that are around you, that protect you, and also help you and stuff like that. So that's, they actually have, everyone right here among us have an entourage of unseenable souls around you, which is very interesting, right? But we all believe into that. That's why babies, like I say, babies fall off, the balcony 4 floors and they don't even have a scratch on them. Angels, they have protection, right? Sometimes they do get hurt. Don't believe me, that's not going to work all the time. Don't go try that at home or anything, but but yeah, that's the reason why these things happen. So that's also a proof. Let's go over this last hadith. We're just going to read it pretty much. Let's go over the meanings and not do it.
One question.
Yeah.
Sometimes we receive from our WhatsApp group, like if you type Subhanallah, that you will get the reward. Like this kind of messages for zikr.
Yeah.
So how it will go? Like only the zikr or the all 3, 4 things like you mentioned will go together. Like tasbihah, sitting like 100 times or 1,000, times the Subhanallah.
Right.
In our culture, that,
Yeah.
So it's okay?
It's okay. What do you mean it's okay? Is it okay? Do you get rewarded for typing? Is that what you're saying?
Typing or saying the word?
Yeah, everything. Any form of communication.
So it doesn't have to just be because now we can communicate without words to people. So if it's not on your tongue, is there still?
Right. So if you're writing it 100 times, no one does that though.
But I mean, like if you're like
Copy and
Or you
pasting.
mess-
like you're texting someone, it's just
Yeah, that counts. Oh, yeah, definitely. You'll be held accountable also for all those smileys that you use to people, and the pictures are used, and whatever you type or stuff. Yeah, definitely. So the subhanallahs in there, and the alhamdulillah are definitely going to count, right? But yeah, the Prophet did say make your tongue moist, because obviously that has a more effect on the soul. Is that the saying and the utterance of that word, the echoing in the head, right? All that definitely affects the body than just saying subhanallah. And some people even abbreviate all this stuff now, which is terrible.
All these questions because of smartphones.
Sorry?
You have all these questions now because of smartphones.
Smartphones. Yeah.
The question sister asked was like, is it okay to do the tasbih when in India there's culture too, they have like thousands of those seeds and they sit and then they read those, and is it in something hadith or is it, it's like praising Allah or is it?
So in terms of using like
Yeah.
tasbih and like sibhas, we call them in Arabic, the necklaces or the beads and stuff. So there's some narrations where the Sahaba use like rocks and they count it like that too. So there's some proof to that. So I said that yes, if you want to use it, go ahead. But don't make that holy, where you say that I can't make my dhikr, I left my tasbih at home.
Is that authentic source though?
I remember Sheikh Shahid, I remember specifically he mentioned this in a lecture where he was saying that some of the Sahaba use rocks to count. So
Because that was a while back, and I heard that the Prophet's will
Him and never, he himself never uses
He
this.
just uses his hands, so that's kind of the best.
Exactly, right. Obviously, a lot of major hands in like little parts here. You have a little line, which is kind of cool, right? And we all know there's 3, 3, 3, 3. You have 5 fingers. Most people have 5 fingers, right? And so that ends up being 30, right? If you do 2 rounds of that, if you will, right? And so that kind of helps you out. And most people, that's why they do this whole thing here, right? If you want to use that, some people have electronic one things. They have a little thing. They have a little counters, right? And the thing goes up and down. That's fine. Like I said, I don't think there's anything too wrong with that. The only thing that's wrong with it if you make that somewhat part of the worship. Practice. This is now holy, these beads, and it will protect me, these beads. And I put it on my neck, I put it in my pocket. I can't make my dhikr without it. Some people go into that. People put they put itar on it, they make it smell really good, they put it in a special box, they put it on their Quran.
You
That.
attribute it to
Yes.
Islam, basically.
Right. Then that's what happens. And naturally, as humans, we always look for something physical. And Allah kind of tells us, don't do that. You want a statue, I know, you want to see something to pray at, but just don't, because that leads to other things, and that's why it's forbidden. Why is that? The Quran, even the Quran, someone said, it's in book form, it has to be, or else people need to read it, right? So therefore, that's allowed. And then some people obviously do this thing where they have its protection now, And it's on the dashboard of the cars in Egypt is very, very famous, right? And it's and then you have, it's on the wall and so forth. And there's nothing wrong with having it on the wall, but once you take that, it's protecting you and stuff like that, and that is actually protecting me, not necessarily my prayer to Allah. Then we have issues there, right? And that's where slowly Shaitan is trying to water down your belief in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and stuff like that. That's why we want to. And even like the Catholics have a rosary, which is pretty much the same exactly. It's a necklace with beads on it, and they count the rosary, right? And so it's almost the same exact thing. Now, do they think it's holy? Do they do the divine? Actually, I don't know. You're actually Catholic, if you will. So that's the only thing. So there's proof for that. I remember Sheikh Sahib Webb, I'm going to attribute to him, but I could look it up myself. But I know a lot of people are very strict about this stuff. Yeah. So I think I always tell people it's always better just to keep it on your hands. Safer, alhamdulillah. You really don't need the bead thing. But maybe if that makes you feel better, then okay. You know what I mean? But anyhow, so you got some of those conditions I just mentioned, inshallah. Let's just read this last hadith, inshallah. We'll just take 1 or 2 minutes on it. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is hadith number 26. كل سلامة من الناس عليه صدقة كل يوم تطلع فيه الشمس تعدل بين الاثنين صدقة وتعين الرجل في دابته وتحمله عليها وترفع له عليها متاعا له صدقة وكلمة طيبة صدقة وكل خطوة تمشيها إلى الصلاة صدقة وتميت الأذى عن الطريق صدقة. Prophet ﷺ mentioned this hadith talking about charity. Said the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said that every joint of a person must perform a charity. Every joint of a person must perform a charity each day that the sun rises. All of us have joints, right? Your elbow, your knuckles, your fingers, right? So the Prophet said that because of all these joints, that you should do an act of charity for every single one of these joints. To judge justly between 2 people is a charity. To help a man with his mount, lifting him onto it, or hoisting up his belongings onto it. Back in the days, they had camels and horses, is a charity. And the good word is a charity. And every step that you take towards a prayer, going to pray in the masjid, is a charity. Removing a harmful object from the road is a charity. So here, first of all, let's go back. The Prophet says that every joint in your body. How much joints do you have in your body? You remember? There's another hadith that the Prophet said that you have 360 joints in your body. The medical community say you have around 200 and something. Some doctors have said that yes, you do have around 300 and something. They differ on what is a joint. So that even the doctors have madhabs, it depends what they want, right? Schools of thought. So every day you have one of these joints you have to give charity to. There's also on another note, there's something called Salatul Duha, which is a prayer that you do after the sun rises, after Fajr, and up to the Dhuhr prayer. It's like what you could perform right now. And the Prophet used to do it. It's a sunnah prayer. And he said that this prayer will count for thankfulness for every joint of your body. Kind of combining that hadith with this hadith here. So a lot of us don't perform this prayer. Maybe some of you do, right? If you have time during that day. It's kind of sometimes people are mostly at work at this time and so forth. But if you can, spend a little 5-10 minutes to go in the conference room or go at your house and pray. Alhamdulillah, right? It'll act for thankfulness for every joint that you have in your body. That's one way. But see, the Prophet says here that everyone has to do a charity from every joint in your body. Now, everyone can't give out money all the time. 360 joints is a lot of money, right? So here the Prophet opens the door of the meaning of charity. So guess what? Charity is not just defined to this. But he's saying that help people who have an argument between each other, and you help them out, that is a charity. When somebody's they're moving, let's put it this way, right? They need help. They're picking up their furniture or their bags of groceries, whatever it may be. This might be hard to do today. No one really helps each other in their car and stuff anymore, but maybe we should start this back up. Is a charity, right? And to say a good word, everyone can do this, is a charity. And to take a step towards a prayer, going to the masjid, especially for the men, is a charity. Every single step that you take, or every motion of the wheel in your car, inshallah ta'ala, will be a charity. And moving something harmful from the road, which is we don't really walk on the street anymore. I remember in Egypt, we used to walk everywhere, so it's something easy for us to do. But anyhow, if you do this, then guess what? This will be a charity here. So here the Prophet opens the door up to all these different things. And another hadith, the Prophet said that man came and said that, how about if it's not fair that those who are rich, they can give charity, while those who are poor can't. So the Prophet told that man, you know what? Then you should try to get a job, get money, and give charity. And then you know what the man said? So how about if I can't do that? He said, then you should at least command good and forbid evil. Right? And the man said, how about if I can't do that? Right? So he said, even speak a good word. And the man said, what if I can't do that? Right? And I forgot exactly what he said after that, another hadith that I'm not remembering. But basically, he opens the door to charity for all these different acts that you could do. And even for the men here, the Prophet said that if you give a spoonful of food in your wife's mouth, it's a sadaqah, it's a charity. It's romantic also, alhamdulillah, right? She might like that, but also that it's a charity. Right? You can even do that. Right? So here that the door opens up a lot to what sadaqah actually is. So all of us can do sadaqah every single day. Not necessarily you have to go donate to Helping Hands or Hikmah Relief, even though they want to, they'll love you for you doing that, right? Or the Islamic center we have here, right? But all you can do is a different type of acts, inshallah ta'ala, acts of the act of sadaqah that you can do, and inshallah ta'ala will reward you for that. Questions or comments on this? Like I said, hadith, I was just going over briefly, just trying to get 3 hadith in today. Comments or anything from today's, going over today's hadith? You guys benefited, inshallah ta'ala? Is it good? Hopefully, inshallah, you guys are learning, inshallah ta'ala, it's beneficial for you. If there's no other questions, inshallah ta'ala, I know we're after 12. We ask Allah subhanahu ya Rahman, ya Rahim, to help us to be thankful to you, Ya Rabbil Alameen, to keep our tongues moist with your dhikr, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us make time to say Alhamdulillah, say Subhanallah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Give us light on Yawm al-Qiyamah to cross the Sirat, Ya Kareem, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu help us for our sadaqah, make it a proof for us. Make us Allah nur for us, Ya Kareem, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Make our scale heavy on a weight on good deeds, Ya Rabbil Alameen. On Yawm al-Qiyamah. Make the Quran a proof for us and not make it a proof against us. Make this class a proof for us, not against us, Ya Kareem, Ya Rabbil Alameen. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Jazakallah khair, may Allah reward all of you and bless you. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll see you next week. Like I said, Sheikh Obear, inshallah, will do the class next week. And inshallah, you'll benefit from that. And like I said, and after that, we have one more class of this 40 hadith. And then we'll do a Ramadan prep class after that, a 4-week Ramadan prep class. We'll go over hadith about Ramadan. We'll go over the fiqh rulings within Ramadan and how to plan for it and other things, inshallah ta'ala. Should be fun.
Very good.